as an FPL manager, if you want to score over 100 points for this double game week, you should watch this video to the end. So game week 33 is upon us, and as FPL managers, you know already, game week 33 is a double game week, which means we are going to have some teams playing double fixtures just for their game week. So you're going to have about 6 teams playing, and you'd want to really take note of those teams, get some players from there. If you are aiming to score over 100 points for this game week, which is going to boost your ranks overall and your mini leagues, you should watch this video. So as I said, the double game week is here. I've always been saying this in my previous videos. If you want to really get a view of how things are going, you should always try to look at the FDL. That will give you a perfect idea of how things are looking. And this was something that was forecasted. So we knew game week 33 was likely to be a double game week, and we are here, which is the double game week. And you should note this before we continue, that game week 34 is also going to have some blank fixtures. So some of the teams playing this game week might not be playing game week, will not be playing game week 34. So you also want to take note once you are doing your transfers. That is, if you decide to use your wild card or you decide to use your free hit, you want to be very strategic as well. So let's see how the fixtures are looking for double game week 33. So it's starting on Saturday. We have Brentford taking on Fulham. We have Leeds taking on Wolves. We have Newcastle v Bournemouth. We have Spurs, they take on Brighton, Hove Albion. We have Chelsea taking on Manchester United, one of the big games of the round. Then on Sunday, we have Aston Villa v Sunderland. Then Everton v Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, they take on Burnley. Then another big game of the round, City v Arsenal. That could be a very crucial game in the title race. Then on Monday, we have Crystal Palace, they play, they take on West Ham. Then we have Brighton again. They play Spurs again. So that is when the double game week begins. We have Bournemouth. They take on Leeds United. So they play again. We have Burnley taking on City. They also play again. So we have these teams taking. So for the double game weeks, we'll be looking at teams like Brighton. They would be playing Spurs and Chelsea. We have Bournemouth, they will be taking on Leeds United, and as well Newcastle. Then we have City taking on Arsenal, Burnley. We also have Burnley, they take on City, and they take on Nottingham Forest as well. Leeds United take on Bournemouth, and they also take on Wolves. So you would want to get your teams if you want more points for some of your players from these teams, and you should be good to go. So let's see the player stats and see how it's looking. So for the most transferred in for this double game week 33, we have Haaland leading the chart. So many managers have brought him in. We have Zerki, we have Senese, we have Calvin-Lewin, we have Magay, we have O'Reilly, we have Scott, we have Joao Pedro, we have Thiago, Semenyo, Van Heeke, Palmer, Welbeck. So quite a number of players from the teams who have double fixtures for the game week, which is a plus. So you know that once you go in, you'll have some advantage with some double points from the game week fixture. So you could get your team set from some of these players. You'd want to consider some City players, very, very necessary. If you have some Arsenal players, you could consider taking out one or two, as it's just that one fixture, and it's also a very difficult fixture that is going to take place against City. You could bring in some Chelsea players as well, as they have 2 fixtures. You could bring in some Leeds United players as they want to try and struggle and stay out of the relegation zone. You'd also want to consider some Brighton and Hove Albion players as well. So it could be in that mix, and you also want to consider some Bournemouth players. It could be in that mix, and you should be good to go. So you could get 1 or 2 from these teams, and you should be good to go. That's how it's looking for the player stats. And now to the main thing, the team reveal and captaincy choices. If you want to score over 100 points, you should watch this. So for the team reveal, this is how my team is looking for the game week. And I have my triple captain active. So we have about 6 game weeks until the end of the season. So you want to consider using your chips as soon as possible. If you've not used any, you have 4 chips. You have 6 game weeks left, so you want to start using them. I'm using my triple captain now. I'm anticipating using my free hits for the blank game week, then I would consider using my wild card to rebuild my team. Then I use my bench boost to get some good points for my wild card, and I should be in the clear. So that's how it's look. That is my plan for my chips. Let me know what your plans are as well. So for my team, for the double game week 33, I have Petrovic in the post. So he has 2 fixtures. Hopefully, I get some very good points. I have O'Reilly, I have Virgil, I have Hill. So Hill, O'Reilly, 2 fixtures. So you want to look at that. I have Semenyo, 2 fixtures. I have Rogers, Wilson. They have single fixtures. I have Enzo. He has 2 fixtures. So the Chelsea player. I have Joao Pedro, 2 fixtures. Welbeck, Haaland, 2 fixtures for all players. So that's how it's looking for my team. So hopefully this team would give over 100 points. You could easily get 1 or 2 players from this team, and you should be good to go. So for captaincy choices, I'm looking at Haaland. So my main choices for the captaincy should be Haaland and Semenyo. That is, if you are looking for maximum points, you should be looking at Haaland and Semenyo. So for differentials, I'll be looking at Joao Pedro, and I'll also be looking at Zeki. Zeki has a differential. It's give or take. So Zeki, Joao Pedro as my differential. And if you want to mix it all, guys, so this game week I'm going to give 3 options for captaincy. So the main one, I'm going with Haaland or Semenyo. For differential, I'm going with Joao Pedro or Zeki. Then for my very risky options, you could go with Welbeck, or you could go with O'Reilly. So those are my risky selections for the captaincy. You could get any of these players as your captaincy choice and expect some very good returns. It could be a good time to use your chips, so you could consider that as well. I hope for greens for all. We are out.